How you doing? How you doing? Good afternoon. Um, this is Suleiman once again with Professional Boxing News. Last night, Shawn Showtime Porter defended his WBC championship for the second time. The two-time champion, he held the IBF briefly before he won the WBC belt by split decision against Danny Garcia for the beautiful fight. Okay, before the fight, in the weigh-in, he had to take he had to do a two weigh-ins because he missed the weight the first time, but he got himself in the condition to make the weight. Okay, and when he fought this fight, now I see why a lot of people didn't want to fight Ugas. Ugas is too green for the world class level. That was his first time fighting for a championship. Um, Uh, he acts like he's in a wrestling match. He doesn't fight professionally. I mean, during the fight, he's the bigger man, stronger man, sturdier man. Shawn Porter's 5'6". He's taller than Shawn Porter. Obviously bigger, even though he made the weight, had longer reach. Uh, Shawn Porter in this fight made him become the puncher. Shawn Porter took him out of his fight game. Uh, he controlled the whole pace of the fight. He fought from the defensive stance. He showed people his world class level by his boxing. He fought reminiscent to Sugar Ray Leonard in a way that his leg movement was superb. He had a lot of bounce through the whole fight of his legs. So him having to lose the weight to make the weight class didn't affect him at all. He still came in at 146 on the second weigh-in. They didn't affect him at all. He had a bounce on his legs. He was boxing. He used the jab. He used combination punching. He was fighting in angles. He fought a beautiful fight, man. A beautiful fight. I seen the fight 3 times. It was gorgeous. His display. Ugas showed he was green at the world class level. Uh, Ugas wasn't scoring no jab. Maybe he just couldn't reach him with the jab. The defensive skill of Shawn Porter was magnificent. He was slipping punches. He was even imitating using a bobbing weave style, like a little bit like Tyson used to do back in the day. Ugas was missing punches. I don't know how they say he scored more punches. I don't know from where. The only thing that he showed in the first couple of rounds was a body attack. Most of the punches he deflected Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter was connecting in combinations. He's also looking for openings. He fought completely he boxed from the outside, will come in and out. He was tapping and moving. He used angles. Ugas, who was resetting through the whole fight, didn't know what the hell he was in. You could tell the biasness in the commentary. They were anti Shawn Porter crowd. Commentary people. I guess they don't want Shawn Porter to have the WC belt. Shawn Porter won that belt by split decision against Danny Garcia. Some people say the fight could have gone either way, but what impressed the judges was his fighting style and his sturdiness and his he was basically not afraid of Danny Garcia's power, so he became champion of the world. And as soon as he got that belt, he became a much better fighter. I mean, to me, I think Shawn Porter should start calling himself Sugar Shawn Porter. I mean, he fought much more. He fought like Sugar Ray Leonard in the fight. He has a lot of movement, reminiscent to Sugar Ray Leonard. The only thing is, he has the power, but what the opponent that he fought has a very good chin. During his pro career, he's never been dropped. He's never been knocked out. Never been stopped. The guy has a hell of a chin, man. Ugas. But Ugas can't cut off the ring. Okay, Ugas can't score with his jab consistently. Um, his timing is off, and he's much slower than Shawn Porter. So all you guys saying that Shawn Porter lost this fight, that's baloney. I mean, I've seen the fight several times. If you wanna go by scoring, like a couple of friends of mine and the other boxing shows go, like Beeb. If you wanna go by black and white, like Corey Lee says, by boxing he lost the fight clearly. When he slipped in the last round, that was a slip. It was a clear slip. Shawn Porter was boxing beautifully, looking for openings. By him doing like that with the hands, opening his hands real wide and losing his composure, it will show that he is unprofessional at the world class level. By taunting Shawn Porter to come in, basically he had no game plan. He had Ugas came into the fight with a one plan, one game plan. And when he lost that game plan for the beginning rounds, when he saw that Shawn Porter wasn't gonna be the aggressor, Shawn Porter was gonna be the boxer, and brought his boxing skill asset to this game, the fight changed completely. His game plan went right to the toilet bowl and got flushed, and he did not acclimate to Shawn Porter style. I think through the whole fight, he didn't acclimate to a Shawn Porter style. The only thing he tried to do was muscle Shawn Porter in the ropes in one of the middle rounds, so he could get some shots in. It didn't work. Shawn Porter showed to me, impressed the shit out of me in this fight. Excuse me by saying that. I know we got fans that are children and women listening to our show. Shawn Porter impressed me by his boxing skill, I think his defensive skill, his head movement. He was able to slip punches, come in and out. His skill asset is beautiful. His punching power is very good. And the thing is that he fought a very sturdier and bigger man, but the bigger man had no world class experience when he went to a contest for his first world title. I think he's gonna be like a B class fighter for the rest of his career. Maybe he might become a champion in his second or third try if he fights again. If he fights a guy like Danny Garcia, he'd be stopped. He's too lethargic in there. Yeah, his body type is too exposed. Ugas, I'm saying. Ugas it basically didn't acclimate to his style. Doesn't know how to cut off the ring. Is there to pose. Doesn't take any risks. I mean, he looked as clear as day. I mean, he looked untouched through the fight because he was committing himself to the fight. Basically, he was standing on the outside, posing, looking for a counter punch, thinking that he had more power than Shawn Porter, but Shawn Porter controlled the whole fight through his combinations and everything. The thing that get me upset through the fight is the commentary, the anti-commentary, the anti-Shawn Porter commentary. Maybe it's because the way he was treated by when he was IBF champion, they dropped him off the ratings, and his father refused to pay the sanctioning fees, and they completely dropped him from the IBF. This is the reason maybe Shawn Porter is not committing himself to fight Errol Spence. Maybe if Errol Spence vacates that belt, he could contest for the WBC belt. But this is the animosity that the Team Porter has against the IBF belt. It's not because he's afraid. I think he's the most courageous welterweight in the division. He has the most experience. He has fought Devin Alexander, Paulie Malignaggi, and stopped them. He has fought Kell Brook. Okay, Kell Brook was a strong fighter, and he still went the distance, and he only won by split decision. And it's because he was hugging the daylights out of Shawn Porter. Okay, so Shawn Porter, I think, he always had the skill asset and the boxing technique that he has, but the problem with Shawn Porter is that Shawn Porter, okay, his father was always accurate about his son. Shawn Porter was always saying that his son, big shout out to Eric Lora, your boy from Alton, Ohio, Ohio, impressed the daylights out of me. I'm a believer. I think I think he's the best welterweight in the division, Eric. Okay, the best welterweight division has the most experience at the welterweight division. Okay, he's for all the contenders, and his father was accurate about him. And I guess he let another guy train him so he could be more assertive in his training, so he could show his world class level in this fight, and it showed. Okay, his stamina was outrageous. He was bouncing on his legs from the beginning of the fight all the way to the end, and he didn't commit himself too much to the later round, the last round, because he won the fight already. But the judges, I don't know what the judges were watching. Okay, so let's get back to the opponents of Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter has beaten Devin Alexander to win the IBF belt. Okay, then he knocked out Paulie Malignaggi on his first defense, I believe, and then he fought Kell Brook, a guy that people was afraid they didn't want to fight, and lost the belt. Okay, during the time that he was contesting for championships on the level before he fought Keith Thurman, He beat Adrian Broner, okay, and a catch weight. Okay, that's another world champion, a 4 division world champion. Okay, he beat him in a spectacular fashion. Okay, he contested for the belt against Keith Thurman and lost by split decision. Many people think he won that fight. Okay, Shawn Porter has fought. Let me see. He fought. I think he fought also that kid from Colombia. That kid. Bonet. He fought Bonet and beat Bonet also. Shawn Porter. He did a sparring match with a sparring partner. I think Lanano Tyner, because the Keith Thurman was hurt and the fight was postponed. Uh, then he contested for the WBC belt against the best fighter, one of the best fighters in my opinion, Danny Garcia, and beat him on split decision. In that game, we saw his boxing style. We saw his durability, because he was getting flushed by Danny Garcia, and he got the win. Okay, he boxed. He had everything, a body attack. He had everything. He was slipping punches and everything. Danny was tapping his chin, putting his hands on, and he still did not get dropped and went the distance and won. Okay, so now he has the WBC belt. He fights a contender that nobody wants to fight. Nobody's feeling this Ugas guy, because he was ranked by the IBF and Errol Spence wasn't feeling him either. So finally the fight gets made with Ugas. People know the best winner on his resume is Jamal James win, which he went the distance. Okay, he beat Jamal James, and people was making fun of Jamal James by losing to Ugas because he had 2 losses on his resume, or 3 losses. So he was on an 8-fight win streak before he lost to Shawn Porter here. And now he fought Shawn Porter, okay, and to tell you the truth, he was not his trainer he has to replace his trainer, because how are you gonna train a fighter to only have one game plan? Okay, he didn't read Shawn Porter at all. He wasn't catching Shawn Porter with no jabs. His speed was bad. He didn't slow Shawn Porter at all. He doesn't know how to cut off the ring. He knows maybe just a counter punch. The thing about him was his training was pretty good. His chin is pretty good, and his stamina was good still, because he went the distance. He's not in the world class level. He shouldn't be in the ring with guys like Shawn Porter at all, unless he go to the next level. He has to impress a lot of people. Again, I wouldn't put him in a title fight with anybody. If he fights a guy like Danny Garcia, he would have been stopped. If he fights a guy like Lamar Peterson, he would have got stopped, because Lamar Peterson would have attacked him to the body also. So if he fights Errol Spence, he would have been stretched. Okay, so Ugas, to me, he got to go back to the drawing board and start again, so he can move on to bigger and better things. I hope this improves him by losing to Shawn Porter. He becomes a better fighter, because he went the distance. But whoever's telling me that he won this fight is a lie. I've seen the fight several times. Shawn Porter won the whole fight. He was scoring points. He was winning every single round. Okay, there was only one round maybe that was competitive at all. Once, when he tried to crowd him into the ropes. The thing with Shawn Porter, he wasn't taking any risks. He's looking for a unification fight soon. I think if this Shawn Porter in this condition fights Keith Thurman, it's gonna be a real good fight. Okay, because both fighters are very durable. They're not afraid of each other's power. They throw a lot of punches. They're like buzzsaws in there. It's gonna be a very entertaining fight, and we don't know who's gonna win. If he gets a rematch with Danny Garcia, another very entertaining fight. Okay, so if he wants to steal away from Errol Spence, or the winner Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence, he could do so and have enough talent to fight. If he wants to fight or what's the other fighter, Terence Crawford, that'd be an exciting fight. I mean, he's compatible to Terence Crawford on every level, every skill asset, and he's fought better opponents at the 147-pound level. Also, he's a bigger, more durable man. He came all the way from middleweight all the way down. I think he started his career as a middleweight or super middleweight and went down to welterweight to become a champion. So this is a durable fighter. He deserves his respect. He did a great fight. He has a lot of skill asset, and big shout out to Shawn Porter. I think Shawn Porter should start calling himself Sugar Shawn Porter. It fits him nice. He looked beautiful in there. He looked a little bit like Sugar Ray Leonard, like Sugar Shane Mosley. I think that name will be adequate for him. I'll be very proud to have a guy like Sugar Shawn Porter continue the legacy, and he has the best belt in the division. Also, the green belt, the WBC belt, that's the belt he has in his waist. That's the position, and that's the cash money belt. So if any of you guys, other welterweights, want to unify, I think that's the guy you gotta unify against. So I don't know why everybody was betting the farm and the house and everything against Shawn Porter. I don't know why. But I hope they stop. They start liking him and start giving him his due respect because hey, he's the WBC champ and he fought a great fight yesterday and showed a lot of skills in that fight, man. A lot of skills in that fight. He had a jab, three punch combinations, moving everything. So also in the undercard, big shout out to Efe Adegbe. I could see why he's being ducked. I could see why guys don't want to fight him. I could see why guys is quitting on the stool. I could see the power that he has in his right hand is reminiscent to Deontay Wilder. He's as big as a little. He's a 6'5". He's very young, 24. Okay, so I think he's the new fighter that's gonna take the over the heavyweight division where these other older guys retire like Deontay Wilder. When they come up into age and decide to hang up the gloves, he's gonna take over the mantle because he has the right hand, the crushing power of the right hand. He caught last night Amir Mansour, who is pretty durable. He caught him in the first round. He just tapped him on the chin. He was on the floor, and he tapped him again, and he went on the floor again. And he beat him. He tried his best. They even paid him more. They paid him $25,000 to go in the ring against a guy that they only pay $8,000, a paltry $8,000 for a fighter like that. I think that's embarrassing. I think he should join Jazzin. If he's signed with Al Heyman should try to get him more money for his next fight because 8,000 for that performance is bad. I mean, he made Amir Mansour quit on a stool after 2 rounds. Amir Mansour was stunned. He had no answers for his power. Um, that guy, Fa is a powerful puncher. I could see why guys are hesitating to go in the ring with him. He got a pretty good job to set up the right hand. He fights from the outside. I like the outfit he wears. It's all Adidas. It's more like it's a professional inside and out the ring. He keeps himself in very good condition for his height. I hope they give him better opponents. I'm pretty sure that's the problem with him. He's having trouble getting good opponents in there because he had to pay Amir Mansour $25,000. They pay Amir Mansour almost triple his pay so he could go in the ring. He paid him triple his pay so he could go in the ring against Efe last night, and Efe stopped him in 3 rounds. Okay, triple his pay is $24,000. This guy got paid $25,000. Okay, he went in the ring with Efe. Efe was being paid only $8,000, which I don't think that's very unfair. And he went in the ring there, and he made this man quit on the stool in 3 rounds. This is Amir Hardcore Mansour at 46. The reason he was 46, he kept himself in good condition. He had a draw against Joe Washington. He beat Joey Zueco, the tank from Philadelphia. He beat a lot of good fighters, man. He only lost by knockout to this Dominic Brazil because of blood in his mouth. And he lost to a guy in Europe somewhere. I think it's Kuzman. He knocked him out. But it stunned a lot of people to see Efe knock him out and make him sit on the stool. It was a TKO win. Make him sit on the stool after 2 rounds. Okay, that stunned me, man. Because I think Corey Lee was on a show saying that he has Corey Lee boxing. A good friend of mine was saying that he think Amir Mansour had the skills to beat him. So I wanted to see this fight because I heard his commentary, and he gave a lot of props to Amir Mansour. But once Amir Mansour took a gunpowder from the right hand, it took the fight out of him. When he was sitting on the stool in the first round, starting the second round, he was having second thoughts. The power was too much. Okay. And he was man enough to know that he can't do the power and stood on the stool in the start of the third round, and he lost. He conceded. I don't think we're gonna see too much of Amir Mansour. I think Amir Mansour is in the later days of his career. Maybe you would get a crossroads fight against maybe a guy like Shannon Briggs because they're both up there in the age, or Freso Kendo. But we're not going to see too much about him anymore. I think he's starting to training for conditioning some of these heavyweights or something like that because he still has the skill asset. But I think it's safe, to keep him healthy. Amir Mansour should hang up the gloves now. These heavyweights are much too big. They hit much too hard. This Nigerian guy hits way, way too hard for him. And then you got guys in the sidelines like Joe Joyce. You got guys like Joe Joyce. You got all these other heavyweights. You got Danny Dubois. You got Usyk coming in. You got all these other heavyweights that hit way too hard. Manuel Charr, and the WBA regular heavyweight champion. A big shout out to Manuel Charr. Hope you get to get this guy in the ring and defend your unify these two belts, the interim and the WBA regular, and move on to bigger and better things. Defend those belts to defend that title against Joe Joyce, the Continental WBA champion, and then after that, see if you get to defend your belt and challenge Anthony Joshua after Anthony Joshua finishes defenses. Or maybe get a fight with Dillian White. Everybody's saying, oh, Dillian White doesn't want to fight. Maybe Dillian White will become more courageous to fight better, high quality fighters like he's been doing, and continue with that till he gets one of these champions in the ring. So I think he should start with you, at Manuel Charr. Um, this is a fighter that not too many people talk about, Manuel Charr. Hey, Manuel Charr, maybe you should fight this guy too, Efe. Give Efe a chance to defend your belt against a guy like Efe too, you know. Efe has the power. He's on the come up right now, and he's stunning these other heavyweights in the division. So you guys have a great day, man. I just wanted to make a little boxing news, professional boxing news of these fights. And this card last night was beautiful, man. I hope Al Heyman and all of them keep putting more fights on Fox. I really enjoyed it. I like the way Shawn Porter handled himself in the main event. Um, Also, I noticed that these guys fighting outside, maybe that affected Ugas a little bit, being that he's from the Caribbean. He's fighting on the outside. He looked kind of flat, kind of dry. Maybe he should have warmed them up a little more. But this guy right here, man, Shawn Porter has a lot of talent. I would like to see him unify those belts and become the undisputed. I have a chance to become the undisputed welterweight champion of the world. You guys have a great day, man. This is Suleiman Oscar with Professional Boxing. Take care.